everyone. This is Darcy. Glad to be with you all tonight. I just, John and I went down to Birmingham and we had a Super Saturday. So we did a training and I met a superstar down there, an up and coming superstar that I'm sure you'll all meet. And I can spot a winner when I see one. And so, excuse me, her name is Joy No, and she was at the event in Birmingham. So I started talking to her and everything that came out of her mouth is exactly, it was almost like I was doing a training and she was speaking. And so I thought, I've got to have Joy, first of all, because Joy is brand new, started in January. Her background is Colonial Life, and she was a recruiter for Colonial Life, still is a recruiter and a manager for Colonial Life. So I think sometimes people get an idea that recruiting is a weird thing and it's, the way that you go about it. And it's just like some strange thing. And I want to give you business 101 tonight, because the reality of anybody who wants to be successful in business should be recruiting. When I was 19 years old, I started my first company. I never stopped recruiting. And I opened my chain of stores at 21. I was recruiting 24/7, 7 days a week, all the time. Whether it was a waitress or somebody I saw in the mall, if I saw somebody sharp, I was talking to them. It's just the way it is. And so it wasn't when I got into this business and I knew I could expand distribution through people, I was so excited because I was going to do the same thing I did before, only I didn't have those huge leases and those, build outs and all that stuff I had to sign in order to do business the old fashioned way. I could actually work out of my home and yet build an international company. So very exciting to meet someone like Joy. I think it's very important for everyone on the phone to hear new stories, brand new stories. Our mentor that's made over $100 million building distribution with moving product through distribution outlets, working with people to do that. He used to say, you always got to work with the freshman class because it's so exciting. They're so excited all the time. They are seeing everything for the first time. They're getting their first two people to join their team. That's so exciting. And then those two people get two people, and all this kind of new stuff is happening. And some people that are 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in it, we've been doing it for so long, we forgot the magic. We forgot the magic of the beginning fun. And so I think it's really important for us to bring the fun people. And Joy, she described herself as an entertainer, that she's fun, direct, and open. And I love fun, direct, and open. And so, Joy, we're going to let you teach us all your awesomeness. And so, first of all, Joy, just tell us a little bit about your background and what have you been doing as a career?
Okay. Thank you guys first and foremost for having me. Thank you for those kind words, Darcy Hoffman. I really appreciate it. My background is insurance. Like Darcy said, I weekly recruit people with Colonial Life. I'm a single mother as well, so I wear that hat. And my background is people. I was a banker for 23 years. And so in that field of work, people were my business. It is no different with Colonial Life. People are still my business. And so I love helping people and love meeting people. And that tells you a little about who I am. I'm a networker and connector by nature. So I love to learn about people's experiences and what they have done and what their dreams are.
All right, awesome. And tell me how did you get introduced to Legal Shield, and what was your why, or what was your hot button to making a decision to be part of this company?
That's a great question. I really love that question. It was a colleague of mine, someone I work with daily, weekly, in the benefits business that I do. He is someone that I trust. Someone that I admire and respect. And when he took a look at it or heard about it the first time, the first person he thought to call was me. That's what he said. So that's how I got introduced to it. And why did I decide? I definitely saw an immediate need for people to have the service. Immediately, I saw that people needed a way to be able to have this product in their hands Like I said a moment ago, my background was banking. So there have been numerous conversations in my past around people needing to have their will done and advising people where to go to get that done, and to know that there was a service like this. That's probably what piqued my interest first, Darcy. And then also, I just love helping people find financial freedom. So the recruiting and having the ability to work part-time, spare time, and have additional income for people, that's amazing.
Yeah, excellent. And so I'm going to back up, even go before you to Mr. Foster, who introduced you. And I'm going to ask you to share, like you did with me earlier, how he was introduced and why he got started, because this is very important for anyone. Please listen to what she's going to say about anyone in the benefits business doing benefits or presentations, and how this Joy and her new team of 40 since January of this year are part of his team because of what she's going to tell you. So go ahead and tell that story as well.
Oh, that is an amazing story, because I always think of, we never know what God's doing. And this particular day, Alex Shahid woke up and went to a presentation for a school district, did his presentation in the benefit space to a bunch of teachers. In the back of the room was David Foster, who listened, who was going to get up and do his retirement speech to the teachers, but said, "Hey, Alex Shahid, I want to know more about what you talked about in your presentation." So you just never know when an opportunity is going to come across. That is how it led to me, Darcy, is it was a presentation at a school system. And Alex just told me just the other day, he says, "I almost woke up and didn't go to that one. I almost had someone else do it. And if I wouldn't have went, I would have never met you, Joy."
It's so true. So everything we do, every time we're talking, I remember we were at the Super Saturday and Alex was somewhere at a restaurant and somebody overheard him talking about freedom and lifestyle, residual income, and being able to work for yourself. And they walked up because he was sharing it to somebody, and somebody overheard it and walked up to him, and they were there at the Super Saturday. So learning to use words that are positive in this kind of scary world out there, they need to hear positive information that there's hope, there's something that they can be part of. So the interesting thing is Mr. Foster was a financial advisor for the benefit world, listening to someone else. And do you know how long his presentation was? By chance, was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Sometimes. For Alex's presentation, Shahid, I'd say 10 minutes. So I've seen the presentation. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes.
And the one thing was the wills that got her sponsor interested, and then here she is today. So I think that's key, that every time you present, you have to understand not to think linear. Don't think that I'm presenting to this group, because you don't know in the executive board of the company or the vice president of the benefits who he might know or who he could refer you to. And if you're doing a professional job, that's where referrals come in, and that's where opportunity expands. So you do what you do, but you do it so well, and you're a professional, and you go there and you deliver well to your clients, to your customers, to the employees. But also the benefit is, that's exactly how Brielle was presenting, and some huge broker said that girl knows what she's doing. So it is, what I'm saying is, get better at being better. It's really important that you dedicate yourself, and always, because your opportunity for growth is an overflow of your commitment to growing. So, all right, so we got how your sponsor got started. And then when he called you, did you say, Joy, he called you on the phone?
He came by my office. So
and tell me how that went.
So he called me originally over the holidays and told me about Legal Shield, and then he made a point that next week to drop in the office and look me in the eye and tell me about Legal Shield. So the connection is there, and so believe me, I said, "David, if you think this is a great opportunity and this could work as a tool in our tool belt, let's go for it." Fast forward, we've written several groups, and everyone that I've approached with in my group space I've had no no's. I've had not one no. When I say I have a now benefit that their employees can use to give them peace of mind, eliminate stress, have the ability to create a will, power of attorney, etc. No one has told me that they don't want to hear about it. So I want to tell you, you said something earlier that I want to tell people. You don't have to be perfect. Don't wait to try to be perfect. Practice. Every presentation, every time you share the opportunity, every time you recruit someone, you're going to be better. Just do it. Like, don't wait to be perfect to do it.
Which you made a statement earlier that you, and I'm going to say two statements you actually made. Understand their why and see if it is a fit for him. I'm moving towards recruiting now. All right. So
okay.
She's a master recruiter, and I really want it. She really gets it. And that's rare, but it's so simple. It's right there in front of you. But some people are trying all these weird things. And number one, be yourself. Number one. Number two, don't have to be perfect, and just practice. So when you leave every presentation, do you ask yourself, what did I do right? How could I get better? Those kind
every
of things.
time.
Every time. Okay, I do 40 years later. So you said, understand their why and see if it is fit for them. And then you disconnect yourself, and you want to write this down. You disconnect yourself from the outcome.
That's right.
Can you explain what that means for you to keep going as a recruiter day in and day out, continually to do the connections, continually presenting the opportunity, whether it's Colonial Life or Legal Shield, and the mindset that you have to move forward on a daily basis?
So I did it today. I'll just give you a story because we like stories. I went in to print out, if I've got it, my little booklet right here. I have a benefits booklet. And I regularly go to this place to get these printed, the little spiral bound thing to the booklet. And the lady helps me. And today I just struck up a conversation with her. How long has she been there? Does she like it? They actually don't have any air, and they haven't had any air for a while. So she kind of told me it'd been a long time since they'd had air in there. And I said, yeah, that's kind of hard conditions to work in. And she opened up, and then we talked about her son and school. And by the end of it, after 5 minutes, I said, hey, do you do any other jobs? She said, yeah, I do some freelance work. I do that. I do this. I said, so you're open to making additional money on the side. I would love to share something with you. You have to, my spirit was telling me, share with her. You can't be invested in the emotional side of it. If she's going to reject me, you just have to do it and disconnect yourself from the outcome. So my responsibility is to share. Okay. 1 out of 3 people are looking for additional income. She says, yeah, I'd love some extra income. She's like, one income doesn't do it. I said, well, that's why I do it too. I like the extra income. And like you said a moment ago, find out their why. Find out what they're looking to accomplish, because then you can tie it back to Legal Shield and how Legal Shield may be a good fit for them. But in 5 minutes, I built rapport with her. She's talked about something she loved, her son, for a while. He suffers from Asperger's disease. Mm-hmm. And, after all said and done, you have to be willing to build relationships with people, but don't just connect with them, share with them, and disconnect yourself from the outcome. If they decide to take a look, perfect. We'd love for them to take a look. If they say, no, I'm not interested, that's okay too. Tell them, hey, it may not be for you, but you may know someone that it is for. I just like you to take a look at it. That's just how I do it. And I always get this little thing in my spirit that says I need to share. So some days I share with 5 people. Sometimes I share with 2 people. It just depends, if that answers your question.
Yes, and you said earlier, I did a good thing. I shared. So when it all, whether I say no or yes, your heart says, I did a good thing. I shared.
I
Because
always know. I actually went back into a store because I needed to, because I thought I need to share. And like, all of, we may have that little bit of anxiousness that happens in that moment. And you're like, I don't know, how am I going to do this? I know we've all felt that way, right? And actually, he turned back around in the parking lot, went back in the store because I felt like I needed to share with this person. That's just, you just have to listen to. I mean, that's how I guide it. I listen to this to the spirit within me to say, "Hey, share."
I like it. I like it a lot. And so you also mentioned something earlier about you're a networker by nature. Can you explain what that means?
Oh, yes. So I love I'm a connector. I don't know if you've ever heard of that term. There's different types of people, but I'm a connector. I like to, if you say that you need your air conditioning worked on and I know somebody, I'm going to connect you. I just like to help people in that way. So when I say I'm a networker, I'm in 3 chambers. I try to go to as many events as I can. I believe that we're in the business of relationships. The more people that we meet, the more opportunity that we can learn, grow, recruit, if you will, find value in what people know, find a mentor like yourself. I would have not met you if I would not have been willing to drive 2.5 hours to Birmingham to network. And so I enjoy networking. I enjoy meeting people. Auburn.
Where did you drive 2.5 hours from?
Auburn, Alabama is about 2.5 hours to Birmingham.
All right. So is that close to Destin?
No, ma'am. That's not. It's in the middle of kind of like the middle.
All right. And then another thing as far as growing, and I'm gonna go to that question second. You are recruiting, and every Wednesday you recruit for Colonial Life. So once
correct, we do interviews. Mm-hmm.
We do interviews, and so how is that an all-day event that you're doing recruits?
We have specific hours, so we recruit in the morning.
So you recruit in the morning, and how long have you been doing that for Colonial Life as a recruiter?
I'm going on my 3rd year.
And do you find yourself using the same exact techniques, skills?
Very similar. So I think that as far as getting to know people's background, getting to know what they're looking to accomplish, looking to know what their goals are, yeah, all of that is the same.
And once you know what their background, what they're looking to accomplish, and what their goals are, then what do you do with that information?
Yeah, so then I just find out, for Colonial Life, it's a full-time opportunity. We work full-time. If it's a part-time that they're looking for, remote work, remote is a big key word, right? So if they want to work from anywhere, that's more of a legal shield opportunity, right? So, I listen and I ask questions. I let them talk. I listen more, let them talk, and then I can find out like where is a good fit for them. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
okay.
I have a nickname, the treasure hunter. You're going to have to be treasure hunter number 2, because that's exactly, I literally, everybody write that down. You listen, you ask questions, you listen some more, you ask some more questions. And the whole basis, the end result is to wrap this potential opportunity around what works best for them. It's all about them. You are learning so that you can serve. You are listening so you can serve better. And it's all, their information comes in, you're going, oh, wow, they'd be really good in small business. Oh, wow, they'd be really good as a team builder. Oh, wow, they'd be really good in employee benefits. Oh, wow, they have a niche in insurance. Boy, they could do these things in insurance and expand their business on the side and grow a very substantial, another income source. So those are the things you listen. And if they're not interested in money, that they've never even mentioned, then you go back with mission. If they're interested in money, then you have a financial plan of how they can reach an additional income stream for their, and what that means, multiple streams of income. You start talking language like that. That's today's big words, to have multiple streams of income. Or like you said, Joy, the word remote. That's a big word. To be able to work, instead of saying in your home, you say remotely. Is that how you say it?
Anywhere that you want to.
Anywhere that you want to. Okay, so tell me about how you overcome a bad day as a recruiter.
Let's see. How do you overcome? Keep recruiting.
And what do you mean? Why does it help you overcome?
I just keep looking for, I don't see it as a bad day, Darcy. I don't see that. I get what we may present this to 3 people today and they all said no, but that doesn't mean it was a bad day. I think that just means it wasn't the right timing maybe for them. Maybe it just wasn't the right opportunity. Maybe they'll know someone that it works well for. You can't get yourself, look, there's a million people out there that this is a great opportunity for. You just got to keep looking and keep flipping rocks over, talking to people. I don't really let it get me down, because tomorrow I'm going to share it again. So I guess a bad day might be that you just had some objections. And if you have some objections, you have to just realize that it's not you. Maybe this isn't right for them at this time.
And then it's who do you know? So
it's who do you know?
Yeah. Do you have a referral system you use? What's your or it's who do you know? That's your referral to. What you present to me, and I'm not interested, it's not my timing.
Yeah.
How do you go about
I tell you, thank you so much for taking a look at this opportunity. Who do you know that this would be a good fit for? If you could pull out your phone now and find me 3 people in your phone: single mom, insurance professional, someone that's in your church group, that this will be a great fit for, Darcy. And you'll open your phone up and you'll scroll through and probably give me 3 names of your friends that I can call. And then I'm going to say that you highly respect them when I call them, and that you wanted them to have a look at this opportunity. May not be for them, but right. You thought of them enough. It's important. These words are important. You thought of them enough and respected them enough to have them take a look at this opportunity.
That's right.
So that's how I get referrals, especially from people that may say no.
And in the colonial life, let's say you're recruiting another person in the employee benefits arena, what tools do you use?
So we use Indeed a lot for our recruiting. So we have a job ad that we put out there, and then we call that. We use LinkedIn. Well, I use LinkedIn for both. I kind of have some LinkedIn training that I do. I use, there's times I put social media out there and ask if someone's looking for a career change. Please message me. I'd love to speak with you about an opportunity. I actually put my hands into a lot of different places when I'm looking for recruits, no matter if it's Legal Shield or Colonial Life, because you never know where that person's going to come from.
That's right. We call that all out massive action, which means when I owned my tanning spas, I had radio, TV, newspaper, Valpak. I had a layer of multiple forms of advertising. And so you don't just, like McDonald's just doesn't do radio. They do billboards, they do, TV, they do all kinds of things, all kinds of formats of reaching people about their product. Same kind of thing. That's a business 101 hat you got to wear, everyone, so that you're constantly thinking different channels of expressing your opportunity so people are drawn towards you. And what about follow-up? What's your system of follow-up?
So follow-up with Legal Shield is you definitely lean on that prospect app that we have that gives you the notifications. That helps me, remind me. It's a great CRM tool as to people that I've shared the video with, and going back in there and just checking that. I usually will schedule in the timer, might have to follow up 1, 3, or 5 days with that person. Follow up for me, I like to ask the people, when are you going to have time to see the presentation? Because they may tell me a week from now because they're going away on a trip. That's okay. I want everyone to know that that's okay. The time that they give you, that we don't want to be pushy. If they say 2 days from now, great, I'm going to call you at this time and this day. I think some people want to just like expect people to drop what they're doing and watch a legal shield presentation like then. And if they're doing enough exposures, it's like you just keep track of it in your prospect app. Get yourself a book. If you want to do old school, get yourself a notebook. Carry it with you everywhere you go. Write your exposures in there. Follow up with people. Does that kind of tell you a little bit about how I do my follow-ups?
Yes. Are you ever, do you have to call them 2, 3, 4, 5 times? I mean, and when you follow up, what's your opening words?
So normally, yes, I do sometimes have to follow up more. The rule of thumb is we're going to follow up 5 to 6 times before we turn it into a yes. We know that, right? So a lot of times we're giving up on touch 1 or 2. I definitely want to get to know them more. So if I'm soliciting someone or talking with someone that's from LinkedIn, for example, and I don't have a relationship with them, Darcy, I actually invite them to a 15-minute call with me. I can't just share the information and then expect them to be invested with the opportunity if they don't know me. So I get to know them a little bit more, find out what's going on in their life. And then when I do the follow-up, usually I can actually look at my notes and see, oh yeah, you said you were going on this trip. How was that? I wanted to check back with you and see what you thought, what you liked best about the opportunity I shared with you or the presentation that you watched. So again, people connecting with them, finding something that you learned about them in that 15 minutes. If you don't know them, if they're friends of yours, then obviously we do know them, or family members. But you know, the follow-up process can be 5 or 6 times. Sometimes people need more information. Sometimes people just don't know what they're saying no to, and they just haven't gotten enough information.
All right. So the one word I would say for you, Joy, what is the name of what's the name of, what's on your card, by the way? Share with everyone what's on your card.
My card?
What does it say, Joy? You have some cute saying on your card.
On my card. You're talking about
you're the Joy benefit girl or something, I don't know, something.
Benefits with Joy.
Benefits with Joy. So she even brings her name
Yeah.
into her marketing. But
yeah.
Here's what I mean by Joy, you are very intentional, and everyone, this is key to success, is intentionality. So when she's getting a referral and the person's not a fit for them, that was Brielle as well. And I remember Brielle would get a not ready for it. You know, she'd make the presentation, she would share, and she would feel good about it. And then 5 days later, 10 days later, 2 weeks later, they would get started. It was always like within 2 weeks. So she had that attitude. And in the book, in my Success Habits book, I talk about do not get involved with the outcome. Never look at the result. Look at the activity. Look at your commitment to what you need to do. And are you more interested in, are you more afraid of getting an NO, or are you more motivated that they KNOW? So which no is directing your life? The fact that they could say no, or the fact that they need to know about the service. So that's the share. That's the share part. And so what I mean by intentionality is, you said on the referral, who do you know? Like, do you know 3 people? 3 people, intentional. She said the exact number she's asking for, 3. Like a single mom, an insurance person, or somebody you might know at work, at church. Then she helps kind of paint a picture, especially once what she knows about that person. Maybe they're a realtor. Maybe you know a realtor that's not happy in real estate. So I would go say something like that. If, as I'm talking with them and I'm getting to know them, I find out a little bit about them. And then you can kind of tap into their sphere of influence that you picked up in the conversation, but very intentional. And then you said something else that was intentional about the way you recruited. But I'm noticing that you have certain things you do, certain ways you think. Oh, I know. You said to the person when you called them back, the follow-up, what do you like best? So you have a question because you're not interested in what they don't like. So you're very focused, intentional about what you're going after. You're not just, what we call spraying and praying, spraying your efforts anywhere and something's going to happen. She's directive, she's intentional, she has a very natural approach because she, in her heart, she actually cares about a person, and that shows. So they feel safe and open and secure in the conversation. And if it's not for them, I'm not interested in so many different things. And if somebody came and approached me, I still want to help them, but I don't want to do the thing that they're trying to do. And we've all had that, right? We've all had people come to us that have something. Anyways, okay, so very intentional, and that's so important about success. So John, I can't read the chats if there's any questions. Or, if we open it up, I don't really know how you open up, but I want to see if people just type in Karen, maybe you can help me. Do they type in a question?
Darcy, I can see it. And, it's just a lot of great
Yes.
comments toward Joy. Hey, Joy, how are you?
Hey.
Hey, so good to see you. So many just positive comments and great questions, Darcy. I mean, you guys have covered the gamut. So if somebody wants to raise their hand and ask a question, it's about 33 minutes past. So whatever you'd like to do there.
Some of the Katie, Cheryl, Lisa, John Schiller, some of the business to business. You have any questions?
Katie's got a question. Let's unmute Katie, and Katie, go ahead.
Hey, Joy, this is Katie in Montana. So
Katie.
my question to you is, when you have, I've recruited just recently CPA and insurance people, and seems like they are stuck on having to be perfect before moving forward because of their image and their professional, just not wanting to, they need to know A to Z to be able to move forward. Even when you're saying, I'll handle this, I'll support you, I'll train you, I'll show you all that. It's like, how do you get the professional that is analyzing in paralysis before they move forward?
First, I'm going to ask you a question. Are they trying to share the product, or more like, are they sharing the product, or are they actually looking to recruit a team?
They're wanting to sell the product with their book of business. Financial planner I have, and also CPA and insurance agents.
Okay. So, for those people, they are analytical. I'm a perfectionist. And so it took me some time I had to do some self-study, and they probably will too. They need to watch the videos. I tell people all the time, we have amazing training and amazing videos on our Prospect app. If they want to become an expert they need to jump on some of the calls we have and listen, or that's what I would say is we have amazing training out there that they can watch and perfect. I would say if you feel comfortable, sit down with them and do the presentation with them and let them role play. We love role play. Role play helps us practice without having it be in front of a group of people. It polishes our skills. So maybe role playing with them and get them feeling more comfortable around the process.
Is that what you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, we role play all the time. We role play every week. We role play in the car, go into meetings. If you have a field trainer, you're looking to do something with them, and maybe they can tag along with a field trainer and watch a presentation or two, 3 or 4, just to get some idea. But we do have some wonderful tools. So I would say they don't have to be an expert. They can share one of our tools, but they certainly should dive in and learn more about it. If they want to become an expert, we've got a ton of information out there.
Okay, I wanted to say something about her answer, everyone. There's 2 things she said to do. 1, go to the Prospect app. There's great, with a smile on her face, go to the Prospect app. There's a lot of training. So that didn't include her time. Okay, so she was helping them connect to a place that they can get the training that they need if they're analytical, but she used technology as the answer. Okay, the second thing that the second answer she gave was a production answer. That meant if you want to learn, give me a name of a company that we can go and prospect. Like they make a list of 5 clients. And then you go with me, I'll walk in, you watch what I do, you watch how I present. And then the second or third time, they're walking in and making the initial hello and connection. And then they're making maybe the beginning of the presentation. And by the time you're done with 5 presentations, you may have switched spots where you're watching them and they're in perfecting. That's the tell me, show me, let me, grow me model. But it was very interesting. I don't even know if you realize that, Joy, but one was technology. That's an efficient, productive answer to have them go to technology, so they don't spend hours with you when technology can do that same work. The second one was productive. You're actually building a business for them while they're training, and so those are 2 good answers. Very productive, efficient young lady. Anyone else have a question? Or a chat? Did somebody put a question in the chat?
Let's all be like Joy.
Oh, y'all are so amazing. You guys have made my day.
Yep, I think that's good, Darcy. So, Joy, thank you so much.
Yes, my pleasure. It's really an honor to meet all of you. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll be keeping in touch with you, Joy.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much.
All right. Night, everyone.
Good
Okay.
night.
Great
Good
job.
night.
Thanks, everybody.
Night.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Joy. Have a
Thank
good night.
you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night. Thank you.